I do love me a good collaboration, and I do love me some Dunbarton Tobacco and Trust. And Jeff Borsowitz over there at CoronaCigar.com, very nice guy, always been very, very nice to us. And he, with his Florida sun-grown wrappers here, got together with Steve Saka at Dunbarton Tobacco and Trust and created this, the Black Angus. It's Eat, Drink, Smoke. I'm Tony Katz, and that right there is America's favorite amateur drinker, Fingers Malloy, Florida sun-grown. So this is Jeff Borsowitz, CoronaCigar.com. Done some stuff with Davidoff, with his Florida sun-grown wrapper. The American, J.C. Newman, that is also him. Also, there's a Florida sun-grown with Drew Estate. But this is the first one doing something with Steve Saka, Dunbarton Tobacco and Trust. So first things first. They're Corona Cigar, CoronaCigar.com, and they did not pay for this. They are not advertisers yet or anything else, but we have met with Jeff. I've spoken with him before. Very, very nice guy. Always been very nice to us. And when I saw the collaboration, I wanted to give it a go. So I bought a box, spent the money, bought a box of these cigars, and admittedly, Fingers, I've already smoked a couple of these. I've already done this. So what you have here in this is a 6 1/4 by 54 box press, which means it's 6 1/4 inches long. Always makes Fingers Malloy laugh. And the ring gauge is a 54. That's the diameter of the cigar or how thick it is around. Again, with the laughter. Now, this is a box press, which means just as it sounds, it's a little squared off, right? This is not a harsh box, right? This is not really intense. It's got a little bit of give to it. The box press comes from the Cuban rollers out in the fields, if you will, or out in the open air, and the wind would blow their cigars off, so they would square it out, so it would just rest on their tables much easier. This is the wrapper, that Florida sun-grown. Actually, I should take that back. The filler is the Florida sun-grown in here in the Ligero. This is an Ecuadorian Habano Rosado wrapper with San Andres Negro in the binder, and then the filler is that Florida sun-grown Ligero and some Nicaraguan Criollo. If that sounds like a whole mouthful to you, it is. But that very much is a Steve Saka kind of way of doing things. And one of the things they talk about is that Saka could have done anything. Saka could have limited the amount of Florida sun-grown in this any way he chose, and he didn't. He wanted it to have its play. He wanted it to have its moment to shine. So you have this cigar right here. Fingers, we just lit this up, and I want to say the way I have seen my interpretation of Florida sun-grown was that it was more wrapper based than anything else. This is not being used in the wrapper. I don't want anybody to think that I'm trying to confuse anyone. We just lit this up. Where are you at?
Well, first of all, it has a nice hand feel to it, right? It really Beautiful. Feels great in the hand. I love the band. We just lit this, and I am not really getting much of anything other than a nice bit of white pepper. Now it may be what I had today for,
should we play?
Well, it's kind of boring.
Are we gonna play?
Yeah, it's kind of boring. But to me, I'm just getting pepper at this point, and that's about it. But like I said, we're in the first third of the cigar.
That there is spice, period. I think that there's a little bit of, but really, I think that there's something a little more luscious going on. There's something a little more savory going on. There's a bit of bittersweet or a bitter dark chocolate that is happening. Which is something I like quite a bit. But you're absolutely right about the hand feel. This wrapper is gorgeous in this kind of mix of brown black, almost playing to a brown saddle as opposed to more of an orange saddle, and the feel of that's a suede. That is oil. That is a suede. That is so close. Very few times have we come across a wrapper. It's like that feels like glass, just slides right off. But that is very, very, very close. But white pepper is the first thing that you're hitting.
Yeah. But you are definitely getting some sort of spice kick, correct? Or is it not even that?
Not
much.
Kick.
No
Presentation.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, it happens.
I'm trying to think. Like, I've got some coffee in front of me. I have a Diet Coke because I always do. I had a steak for lunch, but I also had a steak for breakfast.
Oh, look at you.
I did have popcorn today because we made popcorn because that's the way God
Me
intended it to
too.
be. But you didn't make your own.
Well, no, but I got it at the second best place you could get popcorn, of course, a gas station. I was in a hurry.
You're in a hurry. Yeah, but I don't know if I would say that is
Well, this is the first cigar I've had in like 3 weeks too. So there's that. Well,
by the
2
way,
weeks.
I'm not crazy. The American is a Florida sun-grown wrapper. So in some places it's the wrapper, and in some places it's the filler. You got to check the cigars. I knew I wasn't. It was driving me nuts. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to obsess about that. Talking about the Black Angus, which is Corona Cigar Company. You're talking about Corona. It's coronacigar.com. So Jeff Borsowitz's Florida sun-grown tobacco mixed with Steve Saka, Dunbarton Tobacco and Trust, and his idea about what should be in a cigar. I love the feel. I love the construction. And now that I'm done obsessing about whether it's wrapper or whether it's filler, it is a very, very pleasing flavor. I almost want to argue, Fingers, is there in any way you could come along with me and agree with me that one of the flavors that you're getting out of this is a stout? Could I get you to agree with me that what you're saying is spice is not white pepper, but more luscious in that way, more of a stout beer hit?
But actually, you have talked me into, now that I'm getting a little bit more into the first third, I am starting to get some of that chocolate that I wasn't getting before.
You want to get your notebooks out, right? What did you eat today? What did you drink today? What is the weather? We had gorgeous weather, and then we went back to cold, rainy weather here in Indianapolis, Indiana, right? All that will affect your palate. And then get your notebook. And then start, you take the cigar, you break it up into thirds in your mind, right? First third, second third, final third of the cigar. What are the flavors you're getting? Like, what is the impression that you're getting? If you don't have it perfect, don't worry about it. Just walk yourself through it. Be honest about what it is you think that you're feeling. What would you connect that to? Write it down. And when you try the cigar a month from now, 6 months from now, whatever the case may be, you try it again, do the same thing. Then you check your notes. You'll see what's similar. That's your through line. That's really where your palate is and what you got from this cigar itself. You're starting to get a little bit of that chocolate.
A little bit, yeah.
So I think what that does, and the way I would describe it, it's adding a little bit of richness to the cheek. Now, sometimes that comes across as tobacco forward. I don't think that's the case here. I think it is more of that richness. How much is this stick? Is it in our humidor? We're going to get to all of that. Keep it here. This is Eat, Drink, Smoke. Eat, Drink, Smoke. It is your cigar, bourbon, foodie extravaganza. I'm Tony Katz. That right there is America's favorite amateur drinker, Fingers Malloy. We are smoking a collaboration from Dunbarton Tobacco and Trust and Corona Cigar Company, coronacigar.com. The Black Angus, 6.5 by 54, made with Florida sun-grown tobacco from Jeff Borswitz, the owner of Corona Cigar Company. This is smoking a little faster than I thought it would. I think the cigar feels incredible in the hand. I think that this wrapper is spectacular. I like what it is that I'm experiencing here. I was describing earlier, this is not a tobacco forward cigar, but you know that the tobacco is there. I just think that there is this good mix here of these things that should bring you spice, like this Ecuadorian Habano that is in the wrapper. You would think that Florida sun-grown by its name would bring you some spice, but how this is put together, how this is connected, what you're getting is much more of a richness. Yes, that bitter chocolate is there. I think there's a bit of savory going on in here. I think there is a touch of wood that I feel, but what there is a lusciousness. And this is a cigar I could absolutely smoke often. The question, Fingers Malloy, is it in your humidor for $30 a stick? This is a special. They sell it as a box of 10. I bought the box. I wrote the check. All right, I used a credit card. And glad I did because I wanted to try it. $30 a stick, Fingers Malloy.
That for me is definitely in the special occasions cigar range right there when you start getting into $30. I could see having one of these in my humidor for a special occasion. I'm getting more of a coffee than I was before. There's a little bit of that chocolate, not that white pepper I was getting at the beginning of the first third. That has kind of subsided. It has been a low maintenance stick. It's been a very good smoking experience.
I like Steve. I like Jeff. We've had a chance to interview Steve Saka on a bunch of occasions. Always been polite. I'd reached out to him about a book that I'm working on. He's like, "You just say when." I have to reach out to Jeff as well. We do not have a financial relationship with either one of these guys or their groups. We would love to. I'm not gonna lie. We would love to. $20 a stick. And so the problem that you now get into, and the story that you have to ask yourself is, where this $10, is this hubris or is this today? Is this just an inflation economics reality that the cigar that should be $20 no longer is? And I'm talking about an increase of 33%. I did that math, 20 to 30, and so I made it 33%. But you check your margins. I don't know. That's the problem. That's the thing that's killing me here.
I've kind of readjusted what I'm comfortable with on
way faster than I have, by the way, Fingers.
Yeah.
You really have, and I think everybody's noticed that you're more willing to spend the cash.
Yeah, it feels like you have to nowadays because of everything that's happened with the industry, with the economy in general. Is prices have gone up across the board, and you have to start re-examining what is a special cigar stick price.
Yeah, I hear you. But once you're into these 30s, you start asking yourself, how does this compare to name the Davidoff you want to get? Right? But then again, some of those, like the new Winston Churchill, the artist, which is chef's kiss, that's way above 30. So to that end, yeah, this works. I would argue without question this is a cut above. There is something smoking much better here than in other cigars. It's just I want it to be 20. I want it to be in the 20s.
Okay.
That's the only issue.
Unfortunately, I think you need a flux capacitor to make that happen and go back to 2019.
And to that end, buy a box. To that end, buy a box. This is a great example of buy it with a group of friends, five guys, five ladies. Everybody gets two. You smoke one all together. You smoke one separately, and you see where you're at. But I got to admit, I like what they've done here. I do like what they put together here, and I feel like, you know what, it's more than I want it to be, but I feel that I got something of value for sure. Keep it here. This is Eat, Drink, Smoke. Wings are on the table. It's Eat, Drink, Smoke. I'm Tony Katz, and that right there is America's favorite amateur drinker, Fingers Malloy. Fingers, I got some wings, and we were going to do a whole thing with the air fryer. Just didn't work out, so I had to bake these off in the oven. And my oven has an air fryer feature, but since I know that's a scam, right, you might as well be telling me I'm going to get money from a Nigerian prince. I baked these off. But I found this group of Kinder sauces. Now, I think the people at Kinder's do excellent work. I think they do a good job with spices as well. They do a good job with rubs. You are a wing guy, but your belief in wings is whatever you can get from Hooters and extra breading.
Well, I do like Hooters wings. I'm not going to tell you that those are the best wings in the world.
You said they're the greatest wings in the world, and without them, you would die.
I don't believe I said that, but that's okay.
So, but the question is, does a sauce for wings, does it have to be sweet or does it have to be spicy?
It has to be both. Sweet and spicy. So do you have a sweet and spicy sauce that I could partake in?
Let me see. So I have 4 here. So this is the hickory brown sugar.
Okay.
That's just going to be sweet right there. You might have to grab those two. I can grab them. This is a gold barbecue sauce here with the vinegar and the yellow mustard and all that. It's a little more North Carolina. I think the feel that people would get, right? So you want to try that?
This is honey hot.
Oh,
honey hot.
There you go.
Now with marzipan.
This is right there. Excellent. That's your sweet and spicy. So here, you got a little squeeze of that.
Squeeze.
Did you open it up?
Oh, wow. It's all ball bearings nowadays.
good Lord. We're just squeezing it right on there. So there you go. Switch that with you.
Oh, wow.
So we'll start that. We'll do a little bit of the honey hot.
It's gold.
And the gold.
Well, you closed it on me.
Of course I did. I'm a professional. And then the other one is roasted garlic. So we'll get to that in a second. Right there. Why the spicy and the sweet? Why does it have to be both?
Because that's what I like.
Oh, so you believe that wings can be personalized. Like you're okay with like the teriyaki stuff and all that kind of jibber jabber.
You know, Tony, there are some days I like a little teriyaki. There are some days I like a little honey. There's some days I like a little buffalo. But enough about my Tuesday. I don't know what that means at all. But having said that, no, I'm looking forward because I too am also a fan of what Kinder does. So this is
I'm into the gold here. Okay. I think that everything that's like vinegar based and mustard based, people have the most extreme reactions to. Love and hate.
That audio is splendid. Splendid.
That's how we want our Marconi. Eating wings. That is not over in any direction. That's not overly any. I want it to be more. I want that to be more. But would you agree that people, when it comes to North Carolina, when it comes to vinegar-based, mustard-based sauces, that's where you get the most extreme types of feel that I love it or I hate it?
Yes. Do you feel like that in a lot of ways is the Chicago style of pizza, where there are people that will absolutely love Chicago style pizza, and then if you talk to some people, they're like, that's a casserole, that's not real pizza.
It is a casserole, but it's freaking delicious. Of course it's a casserole, but it's like Detroit pizza, which is basically Chicago with cheese.
It's not even close.
Oh, what? Good Lord. The gold's not bad. You want to do this honey hot?
Yeah, let's do the honey hot. Is this like a Nashville kind of thing? Like the
hot chicken kind of stuff?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not a guy who digs hot.
Have you had I can't believe I was just about to ask you this question. Chili's has these ridiculously.
No, I have not had it.
New appetizer where it's a Nashville hot mozzarella stick, where it's really a mozzarella brick.
This is also not hot.
No,
that's not hot.
No.
I mean, there's a little build.
Do you think it's challenging for some of these companies because when it comes to spice, there are a lot of people who say they like spicy things, but they really don't. So the only way that you can really have something that's considered hot is if it has something in the name like 3 Mile Island or 911 triple alarm sauce, because most hot sauce that you see in these type of bottles, you're like, it's really not all that hot.
Now, first things first, they're good, right? They're good. And the honey hot is more sweet than hot. It's got a little bit of heat, the very, very slightest. I think that people look at the hot sauce as a sign of their manhood. I used to have a restaurant where we would make the wing sauce, the hottest sauce, which we called suicide, was made with habaneros.
Yeah.
People loved that stuff. I thought those people were insane.
I had two friends that would go, and I can't remember the name of the joint back up in Saginaw, Michigan. They'd have the 911 triple alarm fire sauce, and these guys would consume one wing after another, and they would have snot shooting out of their nose. And I thought to myself, why is this an enjoyable dining experience?
I don't have a good answer for that, but they did. Now this is the roasted garlic.
Okay.
Now this is more where I like to be. Give me flavor, not extremes. I don't want extremes.
You go first. I feel like the Eat Drink Smoke Nation should be able to hear us eat wings one at a time instead of going all in.
Oh, that's delicious.
So you are the roasted garlic guy, is what you're saying.
You tell me.
Okay.
Give that a go right there. See, that is well done. The honey hot and the gold were actually almost a little bit similar. It was a little bit hard to decipher. It's this one here. That's the one we just did.
Oh, okay. No, I was
So
looking for
this
the last
one,
one. Yeah.
which is the hickory brown sugar. That is a nice garlic hit,
Yeah.
but you're not overwhelmed. But you're like, oh, there's flavor. Sauces are so crazy subjective, man. Really and truly.
Well, and the other thing too is, how do you like to sauce your wings? I mean, what we're doing, we're kind of
We're dipping.
we're dipping as opposed to
Yeah. So what you should do is have a bowl where you put the sauce at the bottom, you put the wings in the bowl, and then you toss the
you
bowl.
spin them.
Right?
Yeah.
Spin them.
Yeah.
But you're not like a salad spinner. Like you don't know what that is.
It's a toss. I know what a salad spinner. I
You
had
don't
basic
know.
cable in the 90s. I don't know what a salad spinner is.
Like now you're gonna tell me you know what a thigh master is.
Well, who doesn't?
That's true. That's very, very true. One. Can we make one to Suzanne? One to Suzanne. Gone too soon.
What?
Gone too soon. Suzanne's. Oh, no one told you? Should check your email more often.
Just gonna have her over for wings.
All right. So hickory right here. This I'm already telling you right now, it's gonna be too sweet.
See, and I'm gonna end up loving it, I bet. So you're tapping out on.
I'm right. I mean, that's the traditional barbecue sauce right there that you would put on chicken that was on the grill and everything else. Is there a difference between the flavor you want from barbecue chicken and the flavor you want from a wing?
Oh, yes,
there is, isn't there?
Yeah. I mean, if you're putting on a chicken breast and you're barbecuing a chicken breast and you're going to sauce it up, I think that I would actually like a sweeter sauce. Where wing, I want a little bit more kick.
I'm totally with you. I think that's absolutely true. It's interesting. The actual size of the chicken determines what your expectation is. Now, out of these four, and they're all very, very nice. I'm telling you, the roasted garlic, pick it up. Grab that. I mean, for the big game or anything else, the roasted garlic is excellent. Everything else is good. I'm telling you, they make some rubs that are out of this world.
I think you're more of a garlic guy than I am. I did like the roasted garlic. I like the last one here, the hickory barbecue.
Do you?
Yeah, out of the four, I would probably choose that.
So roasted garlic, hickory barbecue, those are our picks. And then, of course, if you have your own sauce, you can do that. I want to try this. That's it. This is Eat, Drink, Smoke. George Washington is the enduring American figure, the father of our nation. He looked very good on a horse. Is there anything that George Washington couldn't do?
Well, he did have a winning smile.
That's true. But I said couldn't do. And the correct answer, juggle.
Well, that's true.
It's Eat, Drink, Smoke. I'm Tony Katz, and that right there is America's favorite amateur drinker, Fingers Malloy, and we have got ourselves the Espy House George 1794 bourbon. Espy, not the Espys, not the ESPN thing, but it is a home in Bedford, Pennsylvania, and it has been a home to a great number of historical figures, and of course, George Herbert Washington. That wasn't his real name. I just gave him the name. Herbert. Right there. Espy House Spirits, who does this. We know only a couple things. We know that it's at least 4 years. After that, we do not have a mash bill on this puppy, which comes in at 51% alcohol by volume or 102 proof. Oh, Fingers Malloy is very, very happy. I will tell you this. This might be the most beautiful bottle I have seen in a long, long time. It's almost like an alchemist kind of thing going on. It's got this little bit of a foot at the end. It comes up just a touch. And this cork is absolutely with the two like rings of brass there. And then the way they've got the top of the cork done. That is a gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous bottle.
I didn't even notice the top.
Is that? I mean, that's some nice style. That's a nice attention to detail. Whoever designed that, real respect. But let's see if we can respect the drink, shall we? If we can. Coloring is dead on. If you want something that looks like your bourbon's supposed to look like, maybe a little lighter, maybe like something with a little more red to it, a little more auburn to it. But this is a nice honey gold right here. Zero viscosity. To the extent that that sticks to the glass, that does not stick to the glass. No part of it sticks to the glass. But on the nose, oh, hello.
I got dark fruit right away.
Yeah, right. That came in hard sweet.
Yeah. And then some vanilla underneath.
Right, I'm dark fruit too, but it is sugary. Like right, boom. Wow.
Brown sugar? That is nice.
Yes, as opposed to like a pastry thing or a frosting thing. Yeah. Oh, that is delicious.
That's a little sweeter on the nose that you like, though, right?
Agreed. Like there's no oak, and I'm begging for it because the other part of this is pleasant.
Are you getting vanilla? Because I am getting vanilla.
No.
Nice.
That is pretty. Oh, that is super pretty, but nose only takes you so far, Fingers Malloy. This is from Espy House Spirits, the Espy House George 1794 edition. You ready for this?
Tony, I've been ready for this all day.
You say that almost as like you said that before.
Mm-hmm.
He is doing, ladies and gentlemen, the Kentucky Chew. He is moving the bourbon around the palate, getting an idea of where the flavors are. Fingers is not. Oh my gosh. Did you just double take that? Ooh. It's 102. The first sip to set the taste buds. Goodness gracious. Are you looking at him? The first to set the taste buds, the second sip to really get an idea of where the flavors are. All right, kitten, make me afraid.
So the where it hits the palate, the amount of rye spice on that it's a nice punch in the face. That dark fruit is still there. I'm not getting much of any in the way of oak on the finish, but that rye, holy cow, that really is something. I'm going to be interested to see what you think because you are a rye guy. There's almost a little bit of big red at the end too on the finish. But that rye really, really punches you in the face and not in a bad way.
I very rarely do react in such a way. Look, are your eyes watering?
Yeah. Now, again, I'm coming off the flu, so it's monkeying with my palate with the cigar. It may be with this bourbon as well.
Did the wings screw you up?
No, I didn't think so.
I didn't think so either.
Well, I'm very interested to see what you think, Tony.
All right, I'm going in. This right here from Espy House. This is the George 1794 edition. L'chaim, to your health.
L'chaim.
Chaim. Good Lord.
Hey, lady.
Your bar mitzvah is going to be terrible.
He's going in, ladies and gentlemen, and he's doing what we like to call the Saginaw Swish, the Memphis Munch, the Chattanooga Chomp.
Okay. That is to the front tongue. That is sweet. That is almost a bit too sweet, a syrupy, if you will. It's buttery. It's almost creamy. The guys over at Breaking Bourbon called it butterscotch, and I think that is a stupendous choice right there. The back of the tongue, the throat, the chest, cinnamon is dead on. Dead on. That is weird. That is very, very, almost to an extent of chocolate mousse meets Fireball. Wow.
You're not getting any rye spice at all?
No, I don't even know what you're talking about there.
Wow.
I'm now going to officially say your palate is what we would call in the Yiddish verblunget in cup.
Okay.
Which is effed in the head, is how that would be translated. Oh, that is so sweet. That is, and it has such a heat, and now it's dissipated. A touch of spice in the finish, but more of the sweetness. I wish there was more oak.
So you and I are both agree on the dark
Guys.
fruit and there's like a big red finish to it. But I'm getting more rye spice than you are. You're getting more of a.
Am I a fan of this? I have no idea if I'm a fan of this. I don't know. Like, I'm so scared of a cube because it's going to ruin something. And I'm like each one of these flavors by themselves is fine. What I needed is oak, wood to tie them together, and I don't have it.
There's no oak on this.
Zero. But, like, are you intrigued?
Yeah. But I often gravitate to more of a sweeter everything. So the fact that this is sweet doesn't
really
bother
sweet.
me like it may bother you. But I don't think it's as sweet as what you're saying.
It's awful. Well, then you don't know anything. This is from Espy House. This is the George 1794, 102 proof, way bigger than 102. The way it hits the back, but it's with the cinnamon heat, not so much with the proof. But do I get a spice out of this? I don't think a rye spice in this exists.
No ethanol alcohol in the nose.
Zero. No, none of that. I think the question is how much is this in our liquor cabinet? We will find out. Keep it here. This is Eat, Drink, Smoke. Everything is marketing. And for the people who have gotten really abused by marketing, Bud Light, they're coming on strong, man. They're doing everything they can. They got Shane Gillis and Peyton Manning in their commercials. They're Post Malone. They're doing everything they can to try and bring people back, learning their lesson from the disaster. However, this may be a smarter approach. Did I say it's Eat, Drink, Smoke? Did I say hello? It's Eat, Drink, Smoke. I'm Tony Katz, and that right there is America's favorite amateur drinker, Fingers Malloy.
Hello.
There it is. Right there. The CEO of Anheuser-Busch. Sorry, just touching up my cigar right here. The Black Angus, it's a collaboration between Corona Cigar Company, coronacigar.com, and Dunbarton Tobacco and Trust, and what Steve Saka does over there. What the CEO, Brendan Whitworth, is saying is that, we keep talking about domestic beers. We sell domestic beers. Why are we using the term domestic? Domestic is not what we should call ourselves. Not in today's age. Not with Donald Trump as president. We should call ourselves American beer. Sorry. That's absolutely correct and accurate. You should call yourselves an American beer. The weird thing isn't Anheuser-Busch owned by some group in Germany now or something like that?
I think you're right. Yeah. But here's what is interesting to me. And I don't know if this is just the way I think or if other Americans think this way. But when someone says it's a domestic beer, I think it's an American beer, but it's one of the big boys.
As opposed to a craft beer.
Yeah, exactly. Where if you wanted to branch off and say, we should call ourselves American beer, I feel like, well, that's great. But then it also lumps everyone together, which, listen, we should all be for unity and togetherness, correct?
In our beer? Absolutely. Which is why we say death to the IPAs.
Death to the IPAs.
Huzzah! We are so screwed.
Is there any other popular product that we could be dead set against?
Apple
pie. No, I actually like apple pie.
Yeah, right. Apple pie is delicious. Apple pie is fantastic. The Teletubbies. No, that's getting you pressed for a whole wrong reason.
Yeah.
I get your point. You think that maybe people already see domestic as domestic. Bud Light's trying to make the point of we could be more on the nose and people will love us for it. Man, politics is something. And this is this Trump effect in so many places. I'm not asking people what their politics are, right? We don't get into that here. But we don't deny reality either. What they're talking about in the cigar lounge, we're talking about here. And this is what they're talking about. There is a mood change, a philosophy change, and things are coming fast, coming at you hard.
Well, you see it in beer. You see it on social media.
Right.
I mean, Meta's pivot
Yeah.
towards
Meta is Facebook.
Yeah, Facebook, Instagram, MySpace. It's not MySpace. But having said that, you know, kind of the pivoting away from what their kind of business model, at least allegedly, was in the last several years, to more of a, we're going to be a little bit more of a free speech platform where the users are going to be the ones who are doing
you take a look at just the inauguration. Sundar Pichai, the CEO of Google, was there. Jeff Bezos, the founder of Amazon. Elon Musk, of course, of Tesla and SpaceX, and now Twitix. And Mark Zuckerberg was there. All of these tech guys were right there, right flanking President Trump, because they know their business future is based on America's future here, which is kind of a fascinating thing to see after what has been a very difficult for a lot of people 4 years. But is this going to be seen as smart, or is this going to be seen as pandering?
Yes.
All based on your
it's both, right? But I got to tell you, is there anything that could unify this country at this point? I'm hoping maybe beer could be a first step to something that could unify people. This is a good idea. This isn't a horrible idea at all. Yeah, maybe a little bit of pandering here. Maybe trying to get in the good graces of some people that have turned their back on Anheuser-Busch. I don't have a problem with it.
There is a problem in the world of whiskey in regards to tariffs. Now, with Canada, the tariffs have not yet gone into place. The allegation was there'd be a 25% tariff, and that would be across the board, except for energy. And that led Canada to say, well, then we're not going to buy things. First, it was political. We're not going to buy things from red states, and then, meaning Republican-led states, and then we're not going to buy this or that, including whiskey. So there's real world issues that come from these types of maneuvers. And Canadian provinces were all set. Now, the tariff has been put on hold, all set to ban U.S. alcohol. Sorry, we're not going to buy any more of your bourbon, any more of your whiskey. We'll sell Canadian Club and Crown Royal, and we'll be totally fine. And thank you. Man, big stuff. Alcohol exports to Canada, $3 billion a year, which may be a drop in the bucket when we want to talk about where trade is with Canada and what we sell to them versus what they sell to us. They sell much more to us than we sell to them, but we're 330 million people in America. They're 40 million people in Canada. But if these tariffs do hit, your local distiller is going to be hit hard.
Well, yeah, I mean, we've been covering the story for the last couple of weeks. We saw the announcement over at Brown-Forman and how their business has been impacted. You're starting to see a softening in the bourbon market. Whether that translates, I haven't seen the numbers for other spirits. You know, time will tell. But when it comes to bourbon, there's definitely a reason to worry for an industry that is really starting to see the effects of whether it's inflation or people's, you know, we talked about it before, where younger people aren't drinking as much as older generations are. So maybe that's having an impact on the bourbon market as well.
So the nothing's in a vacuum, right? These things all connect. These things all have a place where it's going to affect something you do. And people have been asking, do the tariffs really bring money? Well, tariffs are taxes, right? But they're also an effective tactic to try and engage leverage to get a better result in terms of trade. But in the time that a tariff is on, you can say, well, I don't have to pay that tax if I don't purchase that product. But there are definitely markets that people sell into that they won't be able to have access to. And there are people who get certain pieces to their product from other nations, and it raises the price of what it is they create. So the tariff conversation has a place. And if you're talking about trade and trade imbalances, it has a place. Tactic, not policy. But even as a tactic, which I can see, man, people do get affected. To say that no one gets affected, that is not true. There's a lot of effect, and bourbon is just going to be one of the places that if these tariffs happen, if they happen, it's going to get affected in a big, big way. Keep it right here. This is Eat, Drink, Smoke. Eat, Drink, Smoke. It is your cigar, bourbon, foodie extravaganza. Tony Katz, Fingers Malloy. Find it all at eatdrinksmokeshow.com. Smoking right now, the Black Angus. This is Jeff Borsowitz over there, Corona Cigar Company, coronacigar.com, and Steve Saka of Dunbarton Tobacco and Trust, putting this together, 6.5 by 54 with that Habano wrapper, with Florida Sun grown, which is what Jeff grows on his farm there in Florida. We're into the second third of this cigar. It is only the $30 price that's bothering me. The cigar itself is not. I have smoked a few of these. I like it. I think there's a very, very nice richness here that does not overwhelm, which is wonderful to see. I think the cigar smokes epically, beautifully. I think it feels great in the hands, as you discussed, hand-filled Fingers Malloy. This box press is exceptional. I am joyously happy with it. Man, $30 drives me nuts. I want 20. I would take in the low 20s. But as you point out, Fingers, yes, you're right. And I don't know why I'm so bothered by it, because I've never been bothered by price before. Yeah, you have to recalibrate in this market, and $30. And I think that's going to hurt. And I think this is a just an absolute yes in at 20 or in the 20s. 30, I think, pushes it for some people. But I can't say enough good things. And the way that wrapper feels, that I think it's an Ecuadorian Habano, with that suede, that very, very silky kind of feel, and looks just beautiful.
It absolutely does. And for me, it is a yes for one in my humidor for a special occasion cigar. $30 is about where I would go for a special occasion cigar. And it, for me, it hits everything that I want to hit. And also, we have had no problems with the construction. It's
Zero.
Even burn. Very happy with the smoking experience.
Now they argue over there at coronacigar.com, which, by the way, not a sponsor. They should be, but not a sponsor. I bought the box, wanted to give the cigar a shot. They say this is a medium full. You think this is
medium?
Yeah, but I think that might be us. So I'm trying to think how somebody who doesn't smoke at the level we do, or the amount we do, would see it. And I guess with a little bit of that, with the wood in there, the chocolate in there, I think there's a coffee that's coming on. Maybe people could see it that way. Medium plus, not medium full.
Okay,
coming down a little on that right there, but that's just nitpicky. Very, very nice smoke. But what we're drinking right here, this is from Espy House. This is the George 1794, named after George Washington, 102 proof. Now, Fingers, you got a little water you've added to yours already?
I added a couple of drops of cool water. You, of course, do what you. Oh, I thought you should grab the bottle.
I know.
Just pour. There you go. Yeah, I
just threw mine over some cubes. I've been doing chips lately because that's what I have in the freezer. I've got spheres. I really should go back to Big Rock, for sure. But I'm trying it now on the rocks. This was super sweet front of the tongue, crazy cinnamon back of the tongue, needed oak to bring it together. Needed it. It's not there, but it's unique as can be. And admittedly, the bottle's gorgeous. As a presentation piece, hot damn. There's a lot of sweetness here. I'm going in, though, with the...
He's going in, ladies and gentlemen. He's doing what we like to call the Memphis Munch. And he's staring at the cubes. Is much better?
Much. Not a little. Much. The cinnamon is subdued. Now you just get to feel it traveling down the center tongue. Now it's there with the sweetness. I almost want to argue I feel an oak, but what I think I'm really getting is a reduction in that heat.
Now, to me, I noticed
in that cinnamon.
The nostrils were flaring though still.
That's just my natural musk.
Okay.
That's yeah. Okay. Now we might be getting somewhere. Now, what about you? You added a little bit of water to yours.
A little bit of water.
Water will open it up. It brings down proof. It's the only thing that can bring down proof. And it will mute some flavors, enhance some flavors. This really took Fingers by surprise. His eyes bugged out of his skull cap.
Okay. For me, it brought out a little bit more of that dark fruit, and it did take away some of that hot cinnamon and some of that rye spice. It's a more palatable drink to me than it was neat. I mean, that combination of rye spice and cinnamon on the finish really hit me. Again, no ethanol, alcohol. You would never know from drinking that's over 100 proof.
Right, 102.
This is in my liquor cabinet.
Well, we didn't ask, Fingers Malloy. Is it in your liquor cabinet at how much did you pay for this?
I paid $53.
I can see it. On the cube, I can see it. On the cube, man, it is so like light years better.
Mm-hmm.
It has more combination. It's flowing better. And I almost want to say that it's an oak, but like it's super, super faint, but it's just coming together with so much more a plum. Not with plums, but
could that oak be leather?
Because there's a creaminess. Yeah, it could be leather.
It's good.
It's good. Could be leather. Yeah. Huh. I'm going to have to think about that. The bourbon is from Espy House. This is the George 1794. 102 proof. Yeah, on the cube, that works. On the cube, that works. $53. I don't know. I can see it. I don't know. I think the bottle is just an absolutely spectacular presentation, though. And the Black Angus cigar from Corona Cigar Company, coronacigar.com, and Dunbarton Tobacco and Trust. Beautifully presented, guys. Absolutely beautifully presented.
What is going on here? $30 cigar, Fingers. Buy. $55 bottle of bourbon. Oh, I'll take two. And Tony's like,
I don't know what's going on. I don't know. Are you sure? Maybe it's because you have the flu or you're getting over it. You're still delirious.
That could be.
Yeah, I've been a little tougher on the financial grading system. It's a nice cigar.
It is.
I'm glad I bought the box.
Me too.
It's just I wish it was 20. That said, I might buy another box. I'm such a sucker. Find everything we do at eatdrinksmokeshow.com. This is Eat Drink Smoke.
Follow Eat Drink Smoke on social media, on Twitter at Go Eat Drink Smoke, on Facebook, facebook.com/Eat Drink Smoke, and Instagram at Eat Drink Smoke Podcast.
Hey, you made it all the way through to the end of this video. We're proud of you.
You should watch more of our videos. Make sure you subscribe right there to Eat, Drink, Smoke, wherever it is you get your videos, on YouTube, on Rumble, and don't forget Instagram, Eat, Drink, Smoke Podcast, where we've got the shorts and some very cool things going on.